Jesus freak here. I've observed something. There are a small number of people in this world who are accumulating more and more things while there's less and less to go around, even though theoretically there's more than enough. And I think that if we do wind up with the shortages, they say it's not that there's not enough for the poor to satisfy their needs, but there's not enough for the ultra rich to satisfy their wants. You see, I believe there's a few sociopaths out there. They literally have an emptiness in their soul. It's missing from them. Like a birth defect. And they try to fill this emptiness with stuff. And it doesn't fill their emptiness. So they try to fill it with more stuff. And it still doesn't fill their emptiness. Because stuff can't fill that emptiness. There's people literally said, I want my fair share, that's everything. The world is not enough for them. For most of us, as long as we got enough to get by, we're fine. And maybe we don't. But it's usually not that big a deal for us. These people, they have more than they could ever possibly use many times over, and it's still not enough. There's literally something wrong with them. There's something missing inside them. That they think they can fill with stuff. And they can't fill it with stuff. But we usually can, People like us who've lived through a lot, who haven't had, who've had our better days and worse days. And said, it doesn't matter how bad our situation is. We can rest comfortably in the fact that God's got our back. we don't have to worry about these things because anything that's important, you know, if it's God's intention for us to continue on this planet, He's going to make sure it happens. Paul said, "Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am therewith to be content. I know both how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and be hungry, both to abound and suffer need. I can do all things, I can do all these things through Christ which strengtheneth me." And Jesus himself said, we're always spending our time worrying about material things. He says, what are you worrying about tomorrow? Let tomorrow worry about itself. I've been through a lot of stuff. Even at my worst, help came through just in the nick of time. Three times I was about to be run out of my home. And I found the help I needed before it happened. But only just. And I think that's a matter of, where's my reliance? Am I relying entirely on myself? But that ain't gonna go nowhere. The number of times I've snatched victory out of the jaws of defeat. It couldn't possibly have been any other way. The number of times I've been so close to losing it all. And here I am, surviving. I don't consider it a matter of this is me. This is, what I've done. Because it really doesn't matter, if God says it's time to go, it's time to go. And maybe I have accumulated a bunch of things. They might mean something to me, but they're not more important. I'm here. You're here. We're able to help each other out. Of course, these people that have a hole in their souls, that they just don't have the mentality. They can't imagine anything other than, a state of being without love and without the one who is love. Because their mind is defective. Their soul is defective. And these are the ones who cause the trouble. Fortunately, they're a minority. Unfortunately, what they say, the leech's two daughters, give and give. It's like a spiritual Prader-Willi syndrome, really. They just can't get enough. Because they don't have a concept of enough. We do. Like I said, certainly I accumulate things. And maybe even for me it fills a hole. But it doesn't fill the hole that should be filled up with love, with empathy, with emotion. And with the one who is these things. Jesus freak out.